Namaste, producers, and welcome to Soul Horoscope SuperScope Weekly Report. My name is Christopher Witecki. I'm your Sensei to Sirius Joy, and I'm grateful to be here serving you spiritually to step into your personal enlightenment, which I have coined Sirius Joy. That's because I believe human beings are very serious, so we might as well just get serious about our joy. Very simple. Now, this is a SuperScope because it is designed to be super to many. It is a Step 10 horoscope. What does that mean? Well, it applies to Tauruses, Taurus Risings, and if you have Venus in Taurus, you can also watch this scope. It's all synchronized in a super way to serve all three. Now, for all three, there's a common ground here, and that is that you're coming out of the clouds literally and into your birthday period, or I should say our birthday period. I'm excited this year. It's going to be fun. We have come a long way, and I don't know if you watched last week's SuperScope, but I was talking about how the universe has really invested in Tauruses for the last 3 years, and it's the last solar eclipse this year that you will get until 2022. Solar eclipse is a huge investment of energy. Now, just to review, we had a solar eclipse on May 10th of 2013, and that was at 19 degrees Taurus. So it was a step 19 solar eclipse. A year before that, we had Jupiter in Taurus for a full year. So the universe was expanding Taurus's ego and willpower and strength. Then the next year, last year, really fertilizing your potential to be fertile and manifest abundance from willpower. And this year, the solar eclipse will happen at step 8, which means you'll be tying off an old you and manifesting from this new fundamental point, the step 8 point. Now, this is a 2-part week. We actually first begin wrapping up the sun in Aries, and that is your higher faith. That's what you've been working on all month long, and this is why this is a new bull that's coming to town, and probably why this is the last solar eclipse Tauruses need, because this new solar eclipse is built on a new inner faith, a new sense of your potential to pull off miracles, your potential to change yourself, which is alchemy, which leads into the faith in the unseen. Very important for Tauruses, because Tauruses who manifest and produce basically imagine the unseen and then sit on it like a hen sits on an egg, and that's how we manifest. We're constantly putting value into the unseen. So for us to go for an unseen upgrade means that anything we manifest now from this point forward has that new inner faith in the center of every piece of it, if that makes sense. A different nucleus is the term I was struggling for. Then it's our birthday period. Woo, woo, woo. I'm so excited. We're going to get a new ego this year. This isn't a complete new ego. This is a nice upgrade. And that solar eclipse will be in the house of ego. So basically, it's a new baby-born ego that is based on the new inner faith. And then from this baby-born ego, you're going to be able to move into what actions you take this year, how effective you are or not. And this goes into identity, which is your character statements at the end of your birthday period. But we'll talk more on that later. We got so much to do right now. Now let's review on some other things. We are still in a grand cross, or a grand square, however you want to look at it. This is a tug-of-war between higher faith on the one side, there with Uranus, screen left, and then Mars retrograde still, which is retrograding lifestyle. So Taurus and Taurus rising lifestyles under construction until after your birthday period. On the north end of this, Pluto, you are taking a break on new wisdom or new lessons, but you're now filling in, trying to learn and see where you're ignorant. There's a new belief structure running, and this belief structure, I believe, has to do with the new faith. And then at the bottom, Jupiter at the South Pole is the part moving fastest in this grid, and that is your thinking expanding. So Tauruses are expanding their thinking. A lot of times Tauruses and Taurus Risings thinking is based on how you feel. And so if you are responding yourself with greater faith inside and responding to your feelings differently, and you're in new marriages and marriages due to Saturn retrograde in Scorpio, then I believe your thoughts are opening up, and your thoughts are more mindful of your feelings, and your thoughts can be more mindful of others because of that. That's the Grand Cross. Last week, we had a lunar eclipse, which the universe kind of probably set a high spiritual tone for the new lifestyle, the lifestyle in which this faith can or cannot grow. This might have been some tearing down of some lifestyle or health or your car or anything like that that kind of led to that clearing, and this allowed for the higher faith. So as we start this week, we are tested here. On Sunday to Monday, you will be tested to hold that higher faith despite what you see. You'll feel very vulnerable with the moon in Scorpio. And so Sunday and Sunday night, the pre-birthday period, is literally the last mile when you're running a race and your side is hurting and you want to give up and your coach is looking at you like you suck and you feel like you suck, and that's what Sunday night is. It's right before your birthday, so hang in there. Those in the GA Venus Network, I will text you and remind you to stay on it. Then Monday, we move into the 0 degree, and this is the beginning of your birthday period. And here's what's very interesting. I believe there's going to be a vortex that opens up this week. And this vortex, in my opinion, I know it sounds kind of wacky, is going to hit you really in the center of home and family. So you're going to really feel this potential open up, or this desire to feel this potential open up with feeling grounded. And let's take a look at it here. But this will happen with the moon in Capricorn. So you're going to be going through some sort of emotional shift in what you believe between Monday and Wednesday. And somewhere in that, I believe we will have a bit of a vortex. Let me explain what I mean by that. I have a little slide here. Here we go. So here in outer space, basically all 4 planets hit 13 degrees. Now, step 13 is a cosmic degree. It's when things actually change. And so they all 4 hit it for a magic moment. Uranus and Jupiter are direct. Mars and Pluto are retrograde. This puts us a weird squeeze and creates what I call a vortex point at 13 degrees Leo, which hits Tauruses in the house of home, family, and foundation. Now, the moon will go into the house of career starting Monday night, and at 10:30 Tuesday, boom, it opposes this weird vortex point. Now, there's also a soul pyramid going on in water, which means we emotionally change what we want, and I believe this will set your ego to emotionally want something more. And I believe whatever it is you set to want, the solar eclipse on April 29th will nail it home. And that solar eclipse is at 8 degrees on the 29th. So that, to me, is the vortex. The vortex is that through the week, you will have one by one through the 13th degree, these 4 points that have been holding you up, stop holding you up. That's your belief structure, your emotional thoughts, your faith, and your lifestyle. Those 4 points. And once they open, at some point, this puts a longing in your heart for feeling grounded. And that is the imprint. And I think that imprint says, the bull at that point is like, all right, I want a castle, or I want a house, or I want to, and that's what the vortex is, like, you're free, and what will you have for your birthday? Almost for us, for Tauruses, you know? That's my God voice, if you don't know. And and in that moment, I think we emotionally want it, and then we have April 29th, the solar eclipse, that goes, okay, you can get it. So what does that all mean with text? It means follow your emotions and nurture your emotions, because what you feel like wanting and what you really long for this week emotionally is, in fact, I believe, what the solar eclipse is going to push you towards. So some clues there. And then once the solar eclipse pushes you towards that, dun-dun-dun, Jupiter in Leo hits that same 13-degree spot in September, which will be when you're getting your personal dreams come true. More on that later. I know, I'm a quantum astrologer weirdo guy. But we have Love Fest Day on Friday. It's actually be a late Love Fest day. The moon will cross over Venus, and this Love Fest will actually hit the Tauruses and Taurus Risings in the house of society. So I think you're going to feel a passionate pull towards your future in the society. And this is right around where your ego has the breakthrough from the quantum shift opening, and your heart saying, oh, the new faith is out. I believe I want this with my heart, that whole thing we just went through. Well, now I think you will start to feel in society, after a couple days of career stuff, start to feel in society that you are moving and shaking. You might also be introduced to some very interesting players at this point, moving into your next stage. And lastly, you're starting to now heal old reputation. This is the first mark of passionately feeling healed, and therefore passionately feeling like you have a new potential. So to wrap up this week, it is a final test of your faith and strength Sunday through Tuesday. Then a vortex opens, and I believe you get a glimpse of something your heart really wants. Then you realize what you don't have and what it's going to take to get there. And then you decide, hey, I think we're going to go that way, of which we will have a horoscope next week that talks about what the solar eclipse will do for you. And we'll do a little review on those solar eclipses over the last 2 years that I mentioned briefly. Now, for those who love like a Taurus, the 10 VQs, this week you're going to be introduced to a passionate association in the world. So if you are a single Venus in Taurus, then you likely might be introduced to a crowd that leads to meeting the person. So you might be moving emotionally into a new crowd, and that crowd may lead to the person. if you are in an existing relationship, you as a couplehood will now find that your relationship is affected by whatever social changes are happening, and your relationship will need to upgrade as a result. And that is the 10 VQs. You can find out what your VQ is if you come to gavenus.me. We'll do it for free. Or if you come and you subscribe to GaVenus, we do that for you as part of our services to you. And speaking of services, how about the Megascope Monthlies? I have in this Megascope put a chapter in here that talks about what the solar eclipse will do for you, Taurus, on April 29th, before the May Megascope. So if you don't have one of these, you should come get one. If you do have one, go watch this week. See what I talk about and how I get deep on how to set yourself up to maximize on this solar eclipse, because I really want us all to succeed. Moo moo buckaroo. Hey, I'm in beta version of gavenus.com. This is a real-time reading and life coaching. Right now, only for women. It's in beta version. The first week is free. It's $19.95 a month. And come on down and I will text you 5 videos a day. And no 2 subscribers see the same thing a day. It is handpicked based on your chart. Come check it out. It's cool stuff. Hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, would you please subscribe to our channel so we know how things are going? Or come on down to Facebook and become one of our friends there. You can get there by hitting soulgarden.me. And if you want to be on our mailing list where I email you every day, the zodiac weather, and also your horoscopes every week, come to soulmart.me and come on our subscriber list. All right, Tauruses, I'm excited. It's our birthday period. We're going to get our final solar eclipse to 2022. We're walking on a new inner faith. You guys reply or wherever you are watching and tell me how you're doing. I'll see you in 7 days. I love you. Live, love, be.
Soul Garden.